We're a strategic design and technology company, and that basically means we're a company that creates digital products. So we make digital experiences that work harder for people. We really love being able to simplify complex processes, smooth out friction, and take some of the pain out of more burdensome processes. And because of that, we end up doing a lot of work related to account management. We're not necessarily suggesting that you need to love working or being a customer of your bank or your wireless carrier or your health insurance company. But our hope is that we can actually make that experience or your interactions with them a little bit better through the digital tools that we create. To get to that point where we're creating digital experiences that work harder for people, it means that we're operating at the intersection of business objectives and user needs. And for us, what we're trying to do is create overlap between those two things. And it's where we feel we do the most meaningful and most interesting work. Because the more overlap that you're actually able to create, the more you're going to be able to deliver experiences that people actually want to use. We just want to try and create loyal customers through great user experiences. I'm going to ask us to zoom out a little bit. Is anybody familiar with this process here? Do we have designers? Traditional design thinking. So we follow a very similar process here at Citizen. We just make a few adjustments along the way to adjust to the unique needs of building digital products. And really for us, that just means being able to test a little bit more iteratively throughout the process. That's one of the luxuries of working in digital, is that it's cheap and easy to be able to bring people in and test digital products, and there's really no excuse for not doing it as much as we possibly can. We like to remind our clients that research and testing is incredibly cheap. Building something that people aren't going to use or building something that you need to build a second time because you got it wrong the first time is really expensive. When we can ensure that we have overlap between those three, between user, technology, and industry, that's where we get a little bit more comfortable in terms of delivering an experience that we know is going to actually succeed. So I mentioned Adidas earlier. We've been working with their innovation teams for a couple of years now. Last year, we worked with them on a project that was aimed at enhancing retail sales associates and their effectiveness on the floor, specifically as it relates to running. You basically had a retail sales associate, and he had these sensor pods. They'd place those on the shoe, and those communicate via Bluetooth through an application that the sales associate actually uses. We want to get past evaluating whether it's pretty or whether we like the colors. It's really important for us to be able to demonstrate to clients how things behave, how they feel, and how they respond to user input. Once we've got a concept selected, we'll move into interaction design, where we basically define how the entire application works, work through all of the use cases, and then begin designing against those use cases through all the screens, interactions, and flows needed to bring the experience to life. And it's really critical for us to get to a point and make sure that we can get it in the hands of the users and make sure it does what it needs to do for them. The worst thing that we could do is go through the process of building this beautiful app, and then it turns out that sales associates won't even pick it up because it doesn't help them do their job. Next, Cigna Compass. Cigna is a health insurance company that we've been working with for about 3 years now. Healthcare, if you guys hadn't noticed, I'm sure you had, is woefully behind other industries in terms of delivering really good customer experiences, and this was our first engagement with them aimed at kind of tackling that. First few steps throughout the research and strategy, it's all about funneling and really clearly defining the space where we can play conceptually. In this case, we had 3 core themes: maximization, which is just allowing people to communicate in a way that allows them to get the most out of their healthcare; guidance, showing them the way; and then personalization, making it relevant to them. To be able to communicate in a way that helped people maximize their coverage, we actually had to minimize the design, which looking back makes perfect sense, but it was a little bit of a revealing discovery for us. We've all got these really complex plans. Nobody knows quite what to do with them, or much less how to get the most out of them. So this app was really designed to overcome that and just really focus in, cut through the clutter, and let people know how to get the most out of their health insurance coverage. All right, last case study, and this was for their Smart Ball companion app. And we were brought in to help with interaction design and visual design. Specifically, they wanted to have us help them smooth out some of the interactions. Obviously, you've got a mobile device and you've got a physical ball. So there can be some awkward moments in there where the user isn't quite sure what they're supposed to be doing, where they should be focusing. And you have to design really deliberately and create the right cues and the right feedback so that people know how to actually interact with the thing. I think as a group, we tend to shy away from technology for technology's sake. We like utility, we like things that just work and work well. We've experimented with IoT stuff here in the studio. We've tried to connect things that didn't necessarily need to be connected. We want to solve real problems and actually help simplify things that are complex that don't necessarily need to be. Well, thank you guys for coming.